that, you know, Yuumi didn't really do too well, and they are going to go for the Yuumi again. But now this time, I think what Flash Wolves are going to do differently is they're going to pick their hyper carry for Bruce. It may be Blue 2 and Blue 3, pick 2 and pick 3, because what they did before, they didn't focus that in the first game, and what happened was the Kai'Sa and the Vayne got banned out by Nova in the second ban phase. So now it's going to be interesting to see if Flash Wolves actually pick a hyper carry for Bruce before the second ban phase.
I want to see an hyper carry. I don't want to see Corki again. This is a champion that we all find boring. You know, I get it. And yeah, sure, Senna again, right? Like, Nova sticks to their strengths. They absolutely destroyed Flash Wolves with that draft, but I expect a whole different kind of draft from Flash Wolves now. Just a hyper carry. Tristana, Jinx, you know, these types of champions. Especially now. Tristana is one of the best counters to Singed, and it's a bold prediction to predict Tristana. I would love to see it, and it also works into this draft. So is it gonna happen or is it not gonna happen? That's the real question.
Yeah, it may work, and you know, right now actually I'm thinking, because of course Baya is coming in as a substitute here for Flash Wolves, it's a different dynamic as well, but we have seen Baya in the Southeast Asian regions really perform well on the mid lane as well. I'm waiting for his moment actually here. I'm hoping
That's
that
a
it's here
Corki again.
in game 2. Stuart, so far we have the Corki once again, and I know that, I mean, like, a lot of people have been saying, please stop with the Corki and everything. It's not exciting, but you know, it is still a strong pick for Flash Wolves.
The thing is, though, is that this Corki can still go into the mid lane, but what Nova did really well last game, this is pretty much the same draft as what we saw in the first game, is that Nova actually forced Flash Wolves to play Corki in the bot lane, because in the second ban phase, they banned out the Kai'Sa and the Vayne, which means that Bruce has to go to that Corki. But now they just pick up Wukong again, which is not really a hyper carry that we really want to see on Cookie, and Nova are just picking the same champions again.
Yeah.
No, but you can't do this as Flash Wolves, because even though you ban out the Jax, there's so many other champions that Nova could pick up to still make it work with the composition. Like right here, Flash Wolves, you're doing the exact same thing, what just completely lost you the game. And there it is, just as Stuart said, right? Like Nova's gonna ban out those hyper carries. So potentially we could see the Corki in the mid lane, but Nova bans out that Vayne right now, which is the one champion that can destroy champions like the Singed and the Nasus.
Yeah, especially the big tanks that Nova picked from the last game as well. You know, Nasus, Singed, Jax, you know, all these champions that you just want to break through. But the problem is that if you don't have a hyper carry, it's really hard to break through them.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough, and right now we're seeing Nova Esports.
Same
they are
bans.
doing the same thing, but I'm really curious as to what their response will be now that the Jax is banned out. What does Long have up his sleeve right now, potentially? Hels, what do you think?
It's funny because they're banning away a lot of Long's champions. You can see the Lee Sin ban, the Jax... Oh, pretty much all 5 bans are probably targeted towards Long, but I'm sure Long is going to come out with a different champion. You know, whether it's the Riven, whether it's the... Like, we're going to see a lot... There's actually not a lot of jungle champs, as I can see. You know, even Olaf is banned. So it's going to be interesting to see what Nova actually decides to pick for that jungle right now, because this is really testing the jungle. There it is. That's the Riven that I was talking about. So indeed, like it doesn't matter what you ban out. Riven works perfectly with this composition that Nova has.
Do you think this is going to Nova? Right now, earlier you called it out right away, straight from the draft. You were like, oh my gosh, I don't like where this is going. I think we're gonna draw on our faces really early. It's of course just the first series of the day, so we can't say for sure. But right now, Stuart, I can actually tell it in your face. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what Flash Wolves can really pick here. There's Ysera's Darius, which he did perform really well on the second game yesterday against Game Lord. So that's something is like a secondary carry, not really a main carry, they're more of a secondary carry. The last pick now, we're going to have to see if this Corki is going to go in the mid lane or the bot lane. Maybe they pick out another hyper carry that hasn't been banned, or are they going to move this Corki back to the bot lane again? They did pick the Zed last time, it's going to be Karma. So this is just even more shields for Bruce. This is going to be Karma mid lane. Yuumi is a support role. Just give everything over to Bruce, all the shields, all the heals that he needs. But again, you're against a draft, you know, like a Nasus, a Singed, a Senna. These are champions that are just really hard to deal with. Like if you had a Vayne, if you had maybe a Kai'Sa or a Xayah, you might have done well as like the hyper carry. But with Corki, even though he does shred armor with his third ability, which can help him a little bit. Oh, the Echo!
All right, I love that one. Echo, that's an exciting.
Oh, is that Echo Jungle actually? I think it's Echo Jungle for Long. So for those who don't know, Echo is a relatively new champion that came out. When he first came out, it was kind of a little bit underwhelming. That he did receive quite a lot of buffs. His first ability now does more damage to jungle monsters. His second ability now does more missing health damage. And his jungle clear now is insanely fast. You can clear the jungle really, really fast. And Echo scales really, really well into late game. So as long as you farm up in the early game, it's another late game champion that Long can carry on.
I mean, look at that composition from Nova right there. Late game, it's just game over.
His region. As Flash Wolves get into game number 2,
here we go.
and we are right into it. Nova immediately trying to hold the back line of this fight as Bruce just chews away at the front line. First kill goes over to Eason as they continue to press forward, and it's a 1-0 first blood to Flash Wolves. Take it back, Leonard.
I was just kidding. Nova is gonna go to game 3 now. No, jokes aside, I genuinely have no faith. Once again,
oh my
Nova
God.
have better scaling. The Senna Nessus Flash Wolf said that we had no answer to it last game. They don't have an answer to it this game as well. The draft might be marginally better, but at the end of the day, I really like what Nova are running.
But let's talk about the dream for Flash Wolves. If they can find a 5v5 team fight in the mid game, force what they lacked last game, then they can knock Nova off of that scaling and maybe do enough damage that they win through the mid game.
Exactly. Finding the 5v5 team fights, it's once again the name of the game for both of these teams here. But if you look at how Flash Wolves team comp wants to approach a 5v5, and you look at how Nova's team comp wants to approach a 5v5, they want to do very different things. Both teams want a 5v5, that's for sure, but Flash Wolves want to front to back. They want to walk at you with the AoE, shielding, healing, whereas Nova, Riven's gonna come from an angle, Singe is gonna run at you, and Echo is gonna come from another angle. It really threatens your backline, makes it so hard for Flash Wolves to play.
Yeah, very scary, certainly.
Oh well, this is happening again.
Yeah, this is what happened. This is what gave Bruce such a lead last game. Remake and Yami even sitting in exactly the same bush they kind of sulked in last time. Oh look, here's Neon running down. Do we have last game?
Deja vu. The difference this time is Long is in the Baron lane instead of in the mid lane. That's it. And this is great because Sarah has no sums from level 1 fight.
Long's not here.
But I think you're happy with this.
Yeah, Flash Wolves take this trade.
Genuinely, it's a good trade.
Oh, triple root. Remake 1 HP, can't step forward into it. The damage from Bruce is so good.
Oh, Sarah gets caught.
Caught out, step too far forward. Should have just stayed away. Should have just let them take that turret back under the turret. He will survive.
He has barrier. I think he can outplay
this. He's back in. Ysera sitting on that barrier, stalling out, pumps barrier. It doesn't keep him alive. Ysera able to get out from behind the turret.
No, it was so close if he got that off.
They're keeping this turret up in order to make sure that the maximum number of minions die. Bruce denying as much gold as possible before he gets the first turret break. So, Nova accomplished their goals top lane, Flash Wolves, theirs in the bottom lane.
They did two things there for Bruce. Number one, exactly like you said, TJ, great point there. You deny as many creeps from the center Nasus as possible. But number two, what else did they accomplish there? Did you notice that everybody base, you have 4 members of Flash Wolves down in the Dragon Lane. Everybody went home. Captain Bruce, lead the charge. We're gonna give you solo gold on everything, solo EXP on everything. It's truly the Bruce show.
Shame about Ysera though. That could have been perfect for Flash Wolves.
It was so close. Yeah. Genuinely, if he got that decimate off, he would have lived there. He might have traded kills.
I mean, it is just a great example of times when you're playing top lane and your job is just to lose. And if he had just accepted that that turret was going to take some hits.
It comes down to losing with grace, right? And he definitely tried his best there, got a bit impatient at the end. Please don't give me deja vu of last game.
Bruce caught out but doing damage. Final chapter slows down Remake and Yiza, who will step forward. Bruce, very low on HP, but has the honey fruit.
So much health being traded back and forth there. Luckily for both of these teams, package not up yet. It's so early in the game when we're seeing the swap. But that's perfect for Flash Wolves because now you let Bruce tempo the map on the other side, on another lane, and Ysera just has one thing to do. He is living his best life down there.
Right. It's very, very difficult to farm wave consistently once you kill a tower because the minions get pushed so deep. They're so far back that you're at risk if you go to chase them.
So good. I want to look at Ysera right now. Is he last hitting? Is he freezing the wave in Wild Rift?
I think he is. He's keeping that wave very close to deny Nova all the gold from that bottom lane.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see a bit of a play here.
Bruce, good read, stays ahead of it. Cookie lurking in the bush.
And that's one of the problems with Echo, right? Parallel convergence is so difficult to land at times. You need to be ahead of the play. You need to come at an angle. You're never going to run in head on and hit that spell. But once you get to the mid game, once you get to the late game, Echo gets an item or two, he really doesn't need to hit it. He jumps into your backline, chunks you up for half your HP, and just outs away.
Spot quiz, Leonard.
Okay.
Last game there was
Don't ask me the name of the spell.
Last game there was a 1,000 gold lead for Bruce.
Yes.
This time round, almost a 2,000 gold lead.
Okay.
Is that enough?
For now, we'll have to see. It really comes down to the dragon fight. And now package is up, dragon is spawning, Baron is spawning.
And
I think
it's
if
an
Flash Wolves
infernal
don't
drake.
mess up here.
This is an
could
infernal
be
drake.
But we see priority towards the Rift Herald again.
Wow.
That's aggressive, Ignite.
Very aggressive Ignite.
But Bruce, man.
Just shredding remake. Infernal Drake will be started by Nova Esports simultaneous to this Rift Herald being focused. Yiza hovering in the area. Bruce knows that this Drake is being fought. He, Ysera, and Yiza step forward. Isis pumps the final chapter, slowing down Nia. Dawning Shadow chips Ysera. Drake will be picked up successfully by Nova, but they're all low as Eason steps forward on the back of Ysera. They find a kill to Nia. Eason stranded though. Ysera dies. Bruce in huge trouble as he kites away. The rest of the team arrives. Cookie behind the Transcendent Embrace will step forward onto Yami. Find a kill. Flash out for Bruce. He's chased down. He's shut down. Isa finds the kill. A massive pickup. Rift Herald will take mid turret, but the damage has been done.
30 HP mid turret here, and the gold lead is back to even. TJ, yet again, Flash Wolves mess up in the clutch. Bruce, Valkyrie, the wrong way. His package did nothing that team fight.
What a disaster for Flash Wolves.
What a disaster indeed. Look at Bruce right now. Good job from Ysera. Good job from Easton. And the man that you never expect to mess up, the man that you expect to always be clutch, he just flies the wrong way. If he flew in, if he backed up Ysera, that could have changed the entire fight.
I almost wonder if it was a miss-sync and Ysera wasn't supposed to step forward. That was a defensive call to fight defensively.
Maybe, but I think they win that. I genuinely think they do.
They could have made either decision of one. They made neither decision.
And that comes to one of my favorite quotes, right? Well,
no quotes. No, not with me. You can do that with Grandin, not with me. No quotes on this broadcast.
Look, it's a simple one.
Okay,
When I was coaching, this is what I would always use
Oh,
to
you're
say.
quoting yourself.
Yeah, I'm quoting
that's
myself.
All right. That's
well, I'm not quoting
you're
myself.
just saying yourself.
Okay, I don't want to
That's
say
not a
it
quote.
anymore because now that's cringe.
No, quote
I'm not
yourself.
quoting
Go on.
myself. It's something I heard, but
No,
I
it's
say a lot.
Okay.
It's better to make one play as wait, what was it? It's been a while. It's been a while. Let me think about it for a second.
You're quoting yourself,
It's better to
Leonard.
make one wrong play
Okay.
than to make two correct plays. Do you get what I'm saying here?
No.
As a team, if you commit to one bad play,
Okay, I do get
it's
it.
better than making two plays which are correct, but not being on the same page about it.
Can I be honest with you about something?
You disagree?
I think you are weirdly bad at quoting yourself.
I'm really bad at quoting anything.
This game going
Can I just remind you that Grandin had a worse one?
True. This game going very well for Nova Esports.
Yet
As
again.
they win that fight around the Infernal Drake, get the Infernal Drake, and now break the bottom turret.
Yeah.
Is it over in game 2?
Not over just yet, right? It comes down to the next objective fight. Flash Wolves have a bit of a timer here, a bit more of a leeway here because of the earlier gold lead they had. And you might say as well, right? But Omo, there's no Jax this time. There's no
I'll do it.
Camille this time.
But Elmo, there's no Jax this time.
Camille. Say Camille as well.
There's no Camille this time.
Yes, TJ, that is true, but Echo does so much damage in the mid to late game as well.
Wow.
He can side lane, he can threaten your backline, and Riven does the same thing too, TJ.
Flash Wolves now trying to make some plays happen over in the top side. Cookie gets tagged instantly by the Rook of the Senna. That means Neon's looking for a play. He doesn't get it. Forced to dash away. Final chapter provides the zone. And everyone lives. Everyone walks away.
Everyone walks away. No one dies yet, but that's another big use of the cooldowns coming out from the side of Eason. I mean, it's not going to be too bad right now, but that's one of the longer cooldown ultimates. It's going to be a bit dangerous because if a play happens before the dragon spawns, he won't have it up.
Hot up. Because they're spending it immediately. It's not a cooldown anymore.
What's going on here?
Bruce caught out in the river, maybe. Long stepping forward, instead turns his attention to Baya. Baya over the wall with the flash will get to safety, but he's left his teammate behind, and that'll be an easy kill onto Cookie.
Nova, WRL teams, they're so good at doing this. The moment they see a target, they pounce on you, they just shred you. They don't care if they burn every spell to kill you, because that numbers advantage means so much more.
Flash Wolves, no loyalty, man. What was it we saw with Bruce abandoning his teammate?
Yeah.
Here now, Cookie abandoned by Baya, and Nova Esports with a lead. 2,000 and growing. Infernal Drake in their pocket. This Rift Herald up for
They have
grabs.
package.
Have package for Bruce. Is he caught out? He's instantly caught out.
Oh
Final chapter. He has to spend the package defensively. Rift Herald is picked up. The package is yet again wasted by Flash Wolves.
Thomas James in
That's
games of cocky. Bruce has not used the package one time proactively, one time aggressively. I've been singing his praises. I've been saying this is a team
He's
that
been
plays
playing
around
well.
him. He's been playing well, sure, in everything except package usage. He's been forced time and time again to use it defensively, to use it at a bad timing, or just generally he misclicked. Well, one time he misclicked, but as a whole, that hurts Flash Wolves so much because if you call back to Game 1 draft, what do we say about Flash Wolves team fighting? A large part of that is reliant on the package.
I'll give them one more shot, though. This game will give them one more shot.
Well, they don't have
Upcoming
package this time.
Ocean Drake. Without the package, they must win this fight in order to get back into it.
They need to win it without the package, but it won't be anything different because they haven't used the package in any fight as well.
True.
Bruce is getting the poke down. Easton is getting the poke down, but the healing.
Bruce zoned out, has to kite back. Ysera trying to build space for him, can do
Bruce
so
has
for
no
now.
mana.
Bruce no mana, can't do anything in this fight. You're absolutely right. He's looking for the honey fruit to get back in here. Rift Herald working its way down mid. The second it spots Bruce, they should just turn onto this dragon, and Nova do exactly that. Steel runs in, finds a kill. Dawning Shadow executes Ysera. The rest of the team kiting back. Bruce with the final chapter to back him up is trying to make something happen, but he's almost out of mana again as he's called out. Rooted, Long auto attacks him into stasis. Bruce is dead as soon as it ends. He flashes away, but will be shut down. And Nova have won another massive team fight.
He flips them the wrong way.
Baya in trouble. Will be able to burn down Remake. They get the kill.
I think that was the AoE proc, TJ.
The Ocean Drake's still up and they're all low. Baya,
No, Long is full HP.
okay,
He's
Long's
good
the
to go.
only contender. Baya doesn't do anything risky.
TJ, do you remember what I just said? It's so hard to hit the parallel convergence. Well, not when you have this combo, not when you have the cinch, flip into the tap, into the stun, into the root, and that's just a team fight win right away. Bruce is so low on mana. Bruce has no package to cut this fight in half. What can he do? The moment he gets rooted out here, two enchanters are the only ones left alive. If Nian didn't overflash there, that would have been a 5-0, TJ. 5-1, I guess, but sure.
You see Eason just dipping.
Like, no loyalty, man.
Yeah,
But when you play Yuumi, you kind of do just have to dip.
Yuumi players are
Do you remember what Baya did to him in the last game? I don't blame the guy at all.
Yeah, true.
I'm out.
True. Although he jumped to Baya.
Yes, that is true.
That's can stuff.
Well, Bruce is doing a lot of damage here, but you look at that, Ysera wasn't able to do anything. You raised this exact point, TJ. No frontline here. Darius is not a true frontline champion. He's building Proto Bells. He's building Black Cleaver. He's not that tanky. And once you get caught out, the damage from Nova just really shreds you out.
And if you're behind in a game where you have less HP frontline, it is so difficult to find fights.
It truly is, especially given the calm that Nova have. Yet again, the catch is coming in from the root, the flips, the stuns. Nothing much you can really do against that if you have to face check them.
Hey, check out that timer on the top left corner of our screen.
They can't do it this game, though. They don't have a
You
Jax,
think
they don't have a
burn
Camille.
Baron?
I don't think they can burn Baron this game. That's the upside here for Flash Wolves, right? You have to face check them, and
That's
that
an
is
upside.
so scary. But at least Nova can't burn Baron.
Long cleaning out the jungle,
This is what we talked about, right? The angle for Echo.
looking for a parallel convergence.
awesome.
Won't be able to find it. Wave clear's pretty good. Ysera in with the pole. He's just dead, exhausted, flung, instantly executed. They'll try and find something. Final chapter blown, but the Dawning Shadow cancels out all the damage. Yami just eating it to the face. Cookie needing to kite away.
Issa!
And there's the dive from Issa into the backlines. Flipping Issa out of the fight. His carrier's dead. He's going to follow. It's just Baya left. Chase behind the turret. Long almost finds the kill.
TJ!
Behind the inhibitor. He's going to go back for a second swing. Baya burning,
That's game!
dead. A
That's
prime
game!
gaming ace for Nova Esports as
Look at
they look incredible. A supernova on the Rift. A 2-0 for Nova over Flash Wolves.
And Flash Wolves in game 2, gone in a flash. Nova, what a commanding performance. What
Oh,
a
no!
dominant performance. They can't end. Okay, never mind.
They can't end!
They
Leonard!
couldn't.
They didn't project their minions!
They tried to. They died for the minion wave, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And look at Long right now, 7-0
They're
and
going to
8.
do Baron. They're going to rush to Baron. Look at this. Flash Wolves rushing to Baron.
Well, they're gonna try. They have to try. They have no other play here. Look at the ward there, though. If a wave gets in mid lane, Nova could TP and end.
Okay.
Nian bought TP.
Flash Wolves burning to Baron. Remake over the wall. Niam's not here for a moment, neither is Yami. Flashwolves are going to get this fight with an advantage. Here's the TP. Yami back in the fight. Flashwolves back away from the Baron. As Remake gets knocked low, Bruce is already in trouble, and Nabaya is pinned out in a stasis. He's gone. Cookie dead as well. Dawning Shadow finishes the fight. Bruce will be caught out, the last player alive. It's Easton in the middle of the fight. A second Prime Gaming ace goes over to Nova.
Complete
Esports.
domination from Nova in this game. If yesterday's game against Furious left you with any questions, left you with any doubts, I think Nova have answered that.
Second time's the charm. Ready? It's a supernova in game 2 as Nova Esports clean it up over Flashwolves. They'll win the series and advance to the groups.
Amazing, amazing stuff there from Nova Esports. I think they really learned their lesson from yesterday. We can't take any matchup lightly. We have to come out swinging 100% from the play-in stage. That's the upside, right? That's the takeaway here.
Sure.
The teams are close enough.
For not just in groups, all the way to playoffs, I think.
And I think the scary thing is now is that we have 2 out of 4 teams now in group stage. You know, Nova's made it through to the group stage. We've got 2 other Chinese teams playing as well. So will Chinese teams will they be able to do the full sweep in play-ins and get 4 Chinese teams into group stage? I think that would be incredible.
I mean, look at that. 17.5k damage on the jungle. You have DPS champions like the Singed in your team who did nothing compared to Long's damage right there. So yet again, like Long just asserting his dominance in the jungle right there, you know. I'm very excited to see what he's going to be showing off in the group stage because they already qualified to the group stage right now. Like these guys, they just wiped the floor with everyone in the play-ins.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
It's insane. That was the exact moment you mentioned, Stuart, how what Flashwolves, they were getting, you know, they were getting a little bit of the early game, but we kind of saw that there was a tipping point, and you actually called it out. You're like, oh, this isn't going to be good, because you knew at that point where the game was going to turn.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, the Flashwolves in the early game, they got that bot lane tower in the early game. They got the first lane tower, I think it was like 2.5 minutes, was it?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, which is, you know, quite well played by Flashwolves because they realized that, you know, the bot lane tower, you can actually take that a lot earlier than the Baron lane tower because in the bot lane, the tower is a lot weaker. There's not a lot of defenses compared to the